Hey folks, it's the Gator Man, and I'm lucky enough to have a job where I get to talk to some wonderful musicians. I'm hanging out with Cody McCarver. How you doing, Cody?
Well, I'm doing good, other than it's coming a blizzard up here where I live.
A blizzard? Well, it's not quite like that down here. Where are you?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, up in the mountains about halfway between Nashville and Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, that's pretty strategically located for a musician.
Yeah, I'm just far enough out of Nashville to enjoy it and can still be there and be back in bed at night.
Nice. Well, I just checked out the video for These Hands on YouTube. You can check out Cody. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's on Facebook, Cody McCarver. Cody, you played piano with Confederate Railroad.
Yeah, I did for 12 years.
We kind of got hooked up because of the event coming up with the John Schneider Big Bose Extravaganza, the 2020 event. I spoke with him earlier, and brother, he spoke very highly of you, and he's the one that turned me on to this song. And how did you write this song?
Yeah, and Cletus T. Judd.
Well, it's amazing. Wow. I'm really blown away. We've got our listeners are a faith-based community. Be a good way to put it. We like our country music, and we like our churches, and that song really touches me, and I know the listeners are going to like it. I'm going to play it for them in just a minute. How did you meet John Schneider? How did y'all get hooked up together?
Well, like I said, or like you just said, I was part of Confederate Railroad. And what better band to do some shows at Duke's events, Duke's Hazard events. And I think that's where I probably first met John. And we have been friends, I would say, for 20 years. And we haven't seen each other a lot. Of course, John was in L.A. a lot, in Louisiana, and I've kind of been home-based here in Tennessee. And we ran into each other in Nashville a couple years ago at a country radio seminar. And we sat down in a hotel lobby and just began to talk. And I started telling him what I was doing musically now. I do something we call outlaw gospel. Mm-hmm. And he just loved that. Thought that was really cool. And he invited me down to play a show in Louisiana with him. And we began to talk and get closer as friends. And music was an important part of that. And then suddenly I produced his new album, which I'm very proud of, called Redneck Rebel. And he invited me to come and sing on a gospel project that he had, and I invited him to sing on These Hands, and which became #1 country Christian record in America this year, in December of 2019, and we're going to sing it on the Grand Ole Opry the 29th of March.
Oh, now that's exciting.
Sorry. Yeah.
Do you mind if I go ahead and play that and let our listeners check it out?
Oh, I'd love that.
All right, this is These Hands, Cody McCarver with John Schneider.
These hands have seen the struggles, they've weathered every storm, helped me crawl and taught me how to fight. Been steady and they've shaken, done a lot of late night praying. You could say they've done a lot, and you'd be right. But they've never parted waters, never made the blind to see, never turned the water into wine or been nailed to a tree. Oh, but someday when they fold up and I finally breathe my last, that's when these hands are gonna hold the hands that have. These hands are gonna hold the hands that have.
These hands held on to Mama as she was letting go, and I've raised them high to a Sunday morning song. They've held a beat-up Bible, and they fought for my survival, and they tried to do more right than they do wrong. But they've never parted waters, never made the blind to see, never turned the water into wine or been nailed to a tree. Oh, but someday when they fold them and I finally breathe my last, that's when these hands are gonna hold the hands that have.
I know they're not perfect, I know they're not even close. Sometimes it's hard to believe
But he can use them even more.
they've never fed 5,000 or wiped the tears from Mary's face.
They never saved a soul or made them whole or rolled a stone away.
Oh, but someday when they fold on and I finally breathe my last, that's when these hands are gonna hold the hands that have. These hands are gonna hold the hands that have.
These hands are gonna hold the hands that have.
Gonna hold the hands that have.
Wow, that was Cody McCarver with his buddy John Snyder, and that was the song "These Hands." Cody, let me ask you a little bit about your faith. I've seen artists come to God and Christ, and after they've been through the hell that can be the music business. There's drugs, there's alcohol, there's late nights, there's women, there's all you name it. And a lot of times, the folks will go through all that mess, and then they'll come to God. What is your background with the church?
Well, I was born on a Monday. I tell people all the time I was born on a Monday and took to church on Sunday. And I was really involved in church, church camps and Bible studies and Wednesday and Sunday night. My mom taught Sunday school, and I was our church pianist when I was 9 years old. God just kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You can play." And I grew up in a church and in a time where the word disfellowshipped was used. And my mom was disfellowshipped from being a member of the church that we went to. I won't go into why, just one of those deals. And we never went to church anymore after that. And, of course, I was a teenager. And I wound up playing music in bars. And that story of alcoholism, I've done that. I've been without a drink since 2013. And sober completely. And but I grew up in church, and we were no longer a part of a church, and we didn't go anymore, And I go to churches now and sing and speak and things, and I try to tell people all the time, church hurt is an awful thing.
Church hurt.
People go to, church hurt. People go to church and somebody hurts their feelings, they don't ever go back.
Yeah.
And my answer to that is, hey, I did that too, and I get it, and I understand it. And nothing's worse than church hurt. But if you get to the point where your church hurts so bad you don't go back to church, that means you've put faith in a person and not God.
Right.
And so don't let church hurt keep you from having a relationship with Christ. And, of course, the story of that musician, that women and drugs and alcohol and all that stuff, I did all that. What really drew me back to going to church and writing gospel music was my dad died. And he was incarcerated at the time in a Tennessee state prison, serving a life sentence for first-degree murder.
Wow.
And I began to write Christian songs and take them to Nashville, and I had people tell me in the Christian music industry that I was a little too rough around the edges and my lyrics were too serious, and I was a little too outlawy. And at the time that I wrote a lot of these songs, I was touring with David Allen Coe.
Wow. Now,
And I said, well, I can get where you get the outlaw thing out of it, because my favorite singer in the world is people like Waylon Jennings, David Allan Coe. And but I mean for these to be Christian songs, and so I kind of jokingly one day said I'm going to call what I do outlaw gospel. And since then, I've trademarked that name, and we are doing a brand of Christian music that we call outlaw gospel.
man, that's incredible. Yeah, you created your own genre. There's not many people can say that.
I absolutely did, man.
That's cool, man. Outlaw gospel. I like that.
We tie a Bible verse to it, Romans 6:14, for we are no longer under the law, but under His grace. And that's outlaw gospel. And I know that outlaw gospel has been there. Why me, Lord, but Chris Christopherson's outlaw gospel. Nobody just never did call it that.
By the way, folks, I do want to remind you, you can catch Cody McCarver's. You have a YouTube channel. You're on the Facebook, CodyMcCarver.com.
Yeah, and Instagram, and come and hang out with us.
Cody, I'm going to let you get out of here. I know you've had a busy day, and I do want to thank you, and my listeners, thank you for taking some time with us, and I will say God bless, and thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, man, I have a friend of mine who's, he says that the radio is therapy.
Oh, no doubt.
And it really is, man. It's like what you're doing. Thank you for what you do, because you're driving down the road one day and you're having a bad day, and then you turn on you and you play a song that cheers somebody up, or reminds you of a time, makes you want to cry. Radio's a great thing, and and music is a great thing.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, Cody. It's a pleasure. And if there's anything we could ever do for you here at the Gator, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do whatever I can to help, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you.
You have a great day, man.
Hey, y'all, this is Cody McCarver, and you're hanging out with the Gator Man on 104.7.